Um, all right, so the whatever distractions you have on your mind, the celebrations of the election and the inauguration went smoothly. That we didn't have weirdness around the country. Take that and set that off to the side. It will be there in its joy and its horror and its calendar tugging on us when we're done.
Good morning.
Good morning, Zach. Good
Oh,
to hear you again.
good to be heard.
I love that turn of phrase. There's a professor who's now retired out here. That was his or her legacy, that she would greet everybody that way. Professors still enjoy that memory. All right, so we'll begin with some simple stretching. Let's see. I'll adjust this slightly so I can be closer. So we'll take and interlace our fingers, put them above our heads, and we're going to turn to the left and then back to the right. And as we're doing this, we're rotating at the waist. The upper body should not be twisting in any way. And when you get back to center, we'll open up one side, and then we'll open up the other. And bring yourself back to center. We'll keep the fingers interlaced. We're going to lean over as if we're going to touch our toes. And bring yourself back up. Then we're going to rock forward and back on our feet. Bring yourself back to center. We're going to bring our hands in front, and we're going to do gentle circles around the wrists. And switch directions. And turn your hands to the side, and we're going to go up and down. And forward and back. Okay, make gentle fists, and we're going to do circles with the wrist. And reverse directions. So as you're doing each of these moves, coordinate your breathing. So as your wrists are going up, breathe in. As your wrists are going back down, breathe out. And switch directions, which I think we already did. And then we'll open those hands up. We're going to do circles at the elbows. And reverse directions. Now we'll go to the shoulders. Rotate around those shoulder joints. And reverse directions. All right, bring your arms back by the side, and we're going to swing them forward and back, switching which one's on top. And then we'll take, and we're going to bring those by our sides. We're going to rest on the back of the hands, on the hips. drop the left arm, and you're going to reach across to the other arm. Draw gently in. If you can't reach the elbow, that's fine. Any place on your arm you're able to reach is good. And then switch sides. All right, drop your arms, reach across behind your back with one arm, grasp it with the other, and shift your weight towards the arm that's holding. And then we'll shift back to center and switch. All right, so bring yourselves back to center. We're going to cross arms over in front. And as you're doing each of these, focus in throughout the area that we're opening up. That attention on the tight spots will help them open up and loosen up. And switch. All right, then bring those down, and we're going to lift one arm up. Be careful not to scrunch up your shoulders. And then switch. Again, be careful not to scrunch up, lift up those shoulders. We've been working to loosen them up quite a bit. We don't want to waste that effort. All right, drop your arms down, and we're going to work on the neck. So we're going to start by leaning forward. We're looking to have a gentle curve at the back of the neck, not any hard angles. And then we're going to switch directions, lean back, and imagine your skin's a balloon. You're opening up the neck and under the chin, the cheekbones, the forehead. Bring your heads back to front, and then we're going to lean over to the side, maybe look up just a touch, opening up the balloon, the skin, up into the neck, up into the base of the skull, and down into the shoulders. And then switch sides, so we're going to lean over the other side. When you're back to center, we're going to rotate the head to the left and then to the right. All right, so bring it back to center. Next, we're going to do gentle circles with the neck. And switch directions. So bring your head back to vertical, and we're going to open up one side, then open up the other. All right, and then we'll switch directions. We're going to open up the back of the neck and then the front. So next we'll bring our hands out in front, and we're going to go down and then come back up. We're pumping the knees. Pumping the backs of the knees, not the kneecaps.
Tim, we didn't do the shoulder stuff, the chest and the shoulder.
We did the arm swinging.
Yeah, but we didn't do the.
You're right. Thank you. Yeah, let's back up to that one. That one's not a good one for me to switch. So good catch. All right. Okay, so we'll go to the shoulders next. So let's lift, take them back and drop them. Of course, we're doing this with the shoulder blades and the breastbone, not the actual shoulders. They just go along for the ride. And switch directions. Next, we'll just alternate sides. So lift one side and then lift the other. Yeah, this one's one I feel I skip a few days. All right, so let's lift one side, take it back and drop it, and then alternate with the other side. So yeah, so Wednesday night, I drove back late from dropping Serena. I got back in at 1 a.m. And it was a mess. Switch directions. Had to take multiple COVID tests because of a return time fiasco and on and on and on. So no time for Tai Chi. And then yesterday was, a whole load of other stuff. So I didn't get to it. And I started doing the shoulders and I could feel the tension just popping. All right. So we'll bring that shoulders back. We've already done the arm swings. We had started doing the mid body. So we'll bring the hands out in front, turn to one side, lift them and turn to the other side and drop them. And switch directions. When you get back to center, we're going to open up one side as we come back, come around and open up the other side. So we're doing a circle. Switch directions. All right, so bring yourself back to center and we're going to find something to provide some support. We're going to work on the hips next. Are you ready, Susan?
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure from the camera angle. All right, so swing the leg out to the side and around. And switch directions. When you get the leg back by the side, we're going to lift it up, around, and down. So it's now a vertical circle. And of course, focus in on the hip joint itself rather than the knee. Focus in there and where we're increasing the range of the motion. Switch directions. When we get the leg by the side, we're going to swing forward and back. Draw the leg back and swing to the side. Then bring the leg forward and swing out to the side. All right, and then we'll switch. So start by swinging the leg out to the side and around, so it's a horizontal circle. Switch directions. Then we're going to bring the leg up, out, and around so that it's now moving in a vertical circle. Switch directions. And then we'll swing forward, swing that leg forward and back. Then draw back and swing to the side. And bring it forward and swing to the side. Next, we'll step out from whatever that support was, bring the feet together, put the hands up on the thighs, and we're going to pump the backs and knees as we're going down and up. Now, as we're going down, we're going to come out to the side and back to center. So the knees are again doing that vertical circle, a vertical circle. Switch directions. All right, so now when we're going down, we're going to go straight down the center and bring our knees out to the side as we come up. And switch directions. All right, so to bring yourself back up to vertical, we're going to work on the ankle. So take one foot, extend it, and we're going to do gentle circles with the ankle. And switch directions. And then extend that foot out and just let the weight rest on the tops of the toes. Now we'll switch over to the other side, extend the other foot, and do circles with that ankle. And switch directions. Then extend that foot out and rest the weight on the toes. So we'll open up the top of the foot, the front of the ankle, and the top of the front of the shin. Yeah, and in this, I noticed that little wobble you just did, Susan. I've sometimes had that problem with this, and that's when that happens. If you kind of sink the weight into the other foot and lower your posture just a touch while that's happening, that seems to help a lot, or it certainly has helped me a lot when I get that wobble. All right, and then we'll do the full body. So let's see, get this camera readjusted. All right, so we're gonna bring our hands up, make gentle fists, and pull gently back on the kidneys to open up the back and bring ourselves around. when you get up to vertical, we're going to bring our hands out to hold that big ball, hug a tree maybe, and turn to the left and back to center. And when you get to center, we're going to continue around to the other side. So we'll do the other half of our range of motion. And when you get to center, keep going the other direction, but bring your one hand up in front and the other hand down behind. Okay, so we'll bring ourselves back to center. And we're going to do some shaking. We'll start with the hands, then the arms, the shoulders, the back of the neck and the head, the chest, the stomach, down through the hips and the groin, the thighs, the backs of the knees, the calves, and down into the floor. And then take a moment and recenter yourself. All right, so we'll take a hydration break. Oh, okay, good. Let's see. So the pouring exercise we did last week, I'm gonna add some more to that next week. This week we're gonna focus in on the bow stance, and then the next move in the routine in the 8-part Yang style.
But we don't meet next week, right?
Good catch. We do not meet next week. The next time we meet, which will be the week after next. Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
So Zach, in case, I think I have mentioned this, but next week I'm in an intensive, and at this point in the week I will be 5 days into it and staring at my professor's face, or in love with the material or hating my life, one or the other. All right, so we're going to, as I said, we're going to start with the bow stance. So the basics of the bow stance is we have the one leg in front pointing forward. The one leg in the back is going to be turned out at 45 degrees. So if you're facing a wall, the one is pointed at the wall. The one, your other leg, your right leg in this case, is pointed into the corner. You can do the bow stance with either leg in front. Your weight is going to be more on the front, so about 60% on the front, about 40% on the back. You're going to want to bend in both knees. We never want the legs or the extremities straight in Tai Chi. And then you want a channel between them. So there's some separation there to add to our stability. Again, 1 foot pointing forward, 1 foot out at 45 degrees, and a slight bend in the knees with a channel between. Then there are a number of Tai Chi forms that involve the bow stance, and typically at the end of the move. And what we'll end up doing is we'll end up shifting the weight from being back to the front. So we're going to add that in now. What I want you to do is shift your weight back, and as you shift your weight back, as you pour your weight into that back foot, I want you to turn to face in alignment with it. So when you have shifted your weight, you'll be turned and facing with that foot in the corner. And then we're going to reverse that. We're going to pour our weight into that forward foot. And as we do, we're going to turn to line up with that forward foot to come back into the bow stance. And then let's just repeat that, alternate between those two. Just let the weight pour from one into the other and rotate to match the foot that we're over. All right, so bring yourselves back to center. And then let's go into, actually, let's do a review of what we did last time, and then we'll go into this week's form. So we start with a camera adjustment so you can see me more fully. All right, so last week we learned opening form and passing ball. So again, start by moving that one foot out to the side and let the ball lift her hands up, and then gently push that ball back down. Then we're going to pass the ball. So we're going to start by shifting to the right to get into the opening form and form a ball. Step out to the left and then shift our weight as we turn that ball over and bring the foot in. Then we're going to reverse the direction. So extend the foot out, again, point at 45 degrees towards the corner, and then shift our way back as we turn that ball over and bring in the foot. All right, so we end up, we're holding that ball. We've got most of our weight over here on the right foot. The right hand is on top of that ball. The right foot is turned out at 45 degrees and the left foot is pointed forward. So right now we'll drop the hands. We'll just focus on the lower body. Most of this is what we just talked about. But I want to ask you to do one thing different. I want you to actually focus your eyes' attention on your feet so I can talk through one additional element. So as you're looking down, take that left foot, the one that doesn't have most of the weight, and you're going to lift up the heel, open up your waist, and extend that. You want to point it into the corner, so it's at 45 degrees from the wall. And as you shift your weight onto it, well, just shift your weight onto it. And if you look back, if you haven't moved your heel, your feet are actually at 90 degrees. We don't want that. So as we're finishing, what we actually want to do is push that heel out a little bit. And it doesn't take much, but we want to end up with that back foot pointed forward now. So that what we're going to do now, we'll repeat this going the other direction. We're going to bring that back foot up. So it's by our side. And then we're going to extend it out back to the right. Foot's at 45-degree angle. And as we shift, pour our weight into there and turn, we're going to push that heel out and kind of watch that and see that turn to that 45 or pointing towards the wall. Doesn't need to be exact, but I've noticed that as I practice that I have a tendency to sometimes push that out too far. Okay, so we'll repeat that. We'll bring that back foot up. Then we're going to extend it out. And as we pour our weight, look at that heel and shift that heel out. Okay, and we'll repeat it again. And this time, after we bring it out, what I want you to do is, as you're shifting your weight, use the turning of that back heel as kind of some last push into the position. So you're kind of driving that motion with your back foot. We'll bring it up, extend that front foot out to the left. And as we pour our weight, we're going to use that back foot to push ourselves into position. Okay, and we'll just repeat that. Bring that back foot up, extend it, and shift our weight and push ourselves into position. Bring that back foot up, rotate the waist open, and then extend the foot and shift our weight. And we'll repeat that again one last time. All right, so on the lower body, I've added some interesting twists on the footwork. Any questions on that? On that focus on the rear foot of turning it out?
No, it feels natural to do it that way.
It does. It does. The one other thing that I didn't bring out is when we focus on it that way, the weight almost naturally settles in the lower back. The tailbone wants to more naturally drop. The other thing I'll point out is when I've read about this, sometimes it's described as actually almost like a whipping motion being driven out of the foot. That's why some people will talk it that it's a kind of leverage that we're developing. Okay, Zach, any questions?
Show me from your opening how you go into that first hold the ball again, because my feet aren't right, I don't think.
Okay, got it. Yes, we could do that. And I know somebody else joined us, so welcome. We're actually working on the bow step portion of Brush Wild Horses Maine. All right, let me turn this back down. And actually, I will turn around too on this one to give the other perspective. Let's see, we're focused. No. Okay, so we do the opening form. We push that ball down. Then we're going to form a ball, shift our weight onto our right foot and form the ball. The whole purpose of that is or part of the purpose of the lower body is to free up that left foot so that we get extended out. And then we're going to shift our weight as we rotate that ball and bring our foot in. Then we're just going to reverse direction. So if I plant my foot, I'm going to lift up that heel, make sure all my weight is on the other one. So when I extend, I'm stable. And then shift my weight. As I shift my weight, I'm going to turn that ball over and then bring that left foot in. So at that point, your feet, the weighted foot, the outside weighted foot, the one we shifted onto, is turned out at 45 degrees. It's pointed into the corner. The hand on that side of the body is on top, and the other foot is pointed straight towards the wall. Is that the position you got, Zach?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Are you moving forward in these steps, or are you moving laterally? When you step, are you stepping to your left, or are you more towards the front?
This is a completely lateral move.
Okay.
We're moving completely side to side.
Okay.
Which does make it very unusual in Tai Chi. Usually with Tai Chi, you've got forward or back movement. This one you don't.
Okay.
So it's the other place the lateral movement will show up. Cloud Hands has a lateral movement also. It doesn't have a forward or back. All right. So at this point, let's go ahead and add in the upper body portion of this move. The lower body portion, of course, is to extend that foot out. The upper body, while we're extending that foot out and shifting our weight, the top hand will push straight down. The other hand is going to open up in front. So it'll be pointing basically straight in front of us. So if you want to just practice that without the body movement, you turn around. So the hand motion is going to be like this. So the right hand is pumping a bicycle pump, say, and the other one is perhaps tossing a frisbee. And the move is called part wild horse's mane. So you can imagine there's a horse in front of me, and that hand that's tossing the Frisbee is going gently up the neck of the horse. So the hands are doing completely different things, but the movements themselves are very simple. And I'll just actually stay right here and adjust the camera. All right, so let's put that all together. So we've got, sorry. All right, so back at the end of our last move, we've got that ball. Let's see, I can't tell if you can see both my hands. We've got all of our weight on the right foot that's turned out, and that right hand is the one on top of the ball. So then we're gonna get ready to go into that bow stance by extending the leg. And as we shift and turn, we're gonna do that hand motion. So the top one's going down and the other one is going out like it's tossing a Frisbee. And once we're done, that hand that came down, you just push it down to about your waist level, and your other hand is pointing out in line with your foot and the way your eyes are facing. All right, so let me back up. Let's just do that a couple more times. And what we'll practice it to the left with a full form and back to the right with a full form. And I actually can't see the visual very well. Are my hands both in view, Susan?
The bottom is.
Yeah, see the bottom.
The camera. Okay. There we go. That's much better. All right. So at the end of the prior move, again, we've got our right foot turned out to the corner, and we're holding that ball. We're going to open up the waist and extend the left foot. And as we shift our weight, the one hand's going down and the other one's tossing a Frisbee. Then we're going to pour our weight into our left foot so we can bring that back one up. And as we do that, we turn the hands over. It's a very, very simple transition. Then we're going to just repeat to the right. So we're going to open up the right foot. And as we shift our weight and turn, bring the top hand down and toss the Frisbee. And that's looking really good, Susan, from what I can see here. Then we'll just repeat. So bring that back foot up. As we form the ball, extend the foot. And again, repeat. So bring the back foot up and form a new ball. Extend the right foot. And as we shift our weight, toss Frisbee and push the hand down. And then as we do the next one, let me just talk through it. Since I didn't do that, the hand motion transition is really just turning the hands over. And we're going to extend that left foot out and brush the horse's mane. Turn the hands over as we bring the foot up, extend the foot out, and brush the horse's mane. And we'll just keep repeating. And let me pause there.